I love doing big projects that require accurate and strong parts quickly. Now, to get those, you can either invest in your skills and tools, or you can get a robot to do it. Inside of this crate, we have the Makera Carvera, a mini CNC mill that promises to give us excellent parts and even has a tool changer. But can this little baby right here possibly live up to, well, an actual mill? Let's find out. Beautiful. One thing that I immediately really like about this is the fact that it has an enclosure. That's kind of good for safety. Like if your bit explodes, you don't have to worry about it embedding itself in your eye, but I'm more concerned about just dust. The amount of dust that a CNC machine makes is crazy, and we have enough dust in here already. I would describe the design of this as unashamedly Apple. It has that real, anodized aluminum sort of look, even though part of it seems to be plastic, but that's fine. And here's definitely aluminum. And wow, that's strapped on there. I wanted to get it out. Okay, what do we have in here? It comes with a bunch of materials, so we can just start cutting stuff. I was afraid we'd have to go and buy some aluminum to test it out, but I guess not, that's cool. This does have a little laser. It's only like 2.5 watts, but you get the laser glasses with it, which just looks so rad. In here, we also have a bunch of end mills, some little carving bits, and some drills, and they're all comically tiny. I think that 1/8 inch is about as big as the shank gets in these, which is really small on most machines. In here, we also have a little manual probe. This you use to tell the machine where your part is. So it just goes down when the drill bit hits right there, it creates a connection, and then it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna set that as the height. Ooh, they have the accessories in here, but it's in a fancy little box. Wow. One thing you might notice about these end mills is they're basically all single flute, so it only has one cutting blade, and they're also really small, and that's because this guy right here does not have a whole lot of power. Most of the CNC machines that I've used have at least 3 horsepower, most of them more, whereas this one right here has 1/4 of a horsepower, or 200 watts. They do include a screwdriver to get these out. Takes way too long to do that manually. I undo the stuff that held everything together. That's done. Shows you the tools, then power on. Nothing else, no other assembly. I think before we do that, I'm going to install the e-stop and then we'll power it on. Apparently it should auto home, turn on the lights, and with any luck, nothing's wrong. Is that really all we needed to do for setup?
That's the easiest CNC setup ever.
What are we going to do for this video, Andy? I figured that half of it would be just putting the dang thing together, and now we're just done. One thing that's really interesting about this tool changer is that it doesn't use collets or things like that, like you might on a normal mill. It instead just uses these little depth setting rubbers. And so you just put that on the shank of your drill bit, and then that tells it how high it is, I guess. Now we just plug it into the computer and see if it works. I already installed the software, so with any luck, I can just very simply hop into my applications and launch it. I was able to connect to it over Wi-Fi, but that's not the most convenient because I like being able to, use Wi-Fi for the internet and stuff. Oh! But I think I just got it to work over USB. I don't know why, but a proper 10 gigabit per second cable right here didn't work at all, but the one they included in the box with a little A to C adapter is working, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Strange. When I move it, it makes a weird sound. What is up with this? Yeah, it's the tube just against the roof or something. Now let's see if the auto tool changer is working. So I should be able to just go in here, click change, and tool 1. If this just immediately works, that would be so slick. Sorry, dust boot. Okay. Oh, and it touches the probe right there, so it knows it has the right height. Besides the dust boot getting kind of smushed there, that was completely flawless. That was really easy. Now for everybody's favorite, updating firmware.
See you in 2 years.
Huge thanks to Odoo for sponsoring today's video. Running a business gets complicated quick, something that we know all too well, and keeping track of everything can get both confusing and expensive fast. If you're keeping track of your business operations with a variety of spreadsheets and a bunch of disconnected software, it is time to get Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one business management platform that offers small to medium businesses one place for all of their accounting, sales, CRM, inventory, e-commerce, and much more. With Odoo's invoicing app, you can create and send invoices in seconds. Simply add your customer, the products or services to be invoiced, the billing terms, and the customer's email. From there, all of the discussions are centered in a conversation thread next to the invoice. No need to jump between tabs, and the best part, Odoo will also keep track of the payment for you, meaning that follow-ups are automated and the status of your invoices gets updated automatically as they get paid, and all Odoo apps are interconnected so sales orders can automatically generate invoices so you do not have to. So check out Odoo today. Your first app is free for life and plans start at just $24.90 per month. There's also a 15-day free trial with no credit card required. So click the link in the description to get started today. All right, I watched all of their tutorials, and first of all, I have to shout out Makera for making some really easy to follow tutorials for their CNC right here. So many mills are just, you need to go to school for many, many years to understand how to do them. So this right here is much more approachable for a hobbyist, and it seems like this thing's just so friggin' easy to set up. So I have our logo here. I did it up in the Makera cam. And in the controller software, it's incredibly easy to just Z-probe everything and it should just work. So, Andy, are we good to do our very first cut?
Let's do it.
Yeah, first ever logo that we'll have in the flesh. One thing that is really nice about this is you upload the G-code directly to the Makera, so you don't have to worry about like USB dropping out or Windows update happening and your CNC getting all frigged up. It's all just run locally, but I think I just hit go. Right now it's just probing the stock to make sure that the Z height is correct. It's really simple to get this done. It just does it automatically. The vacuum hose is still dragging a bit, but that's fine. Now we should just drop off the probe and grab our engraving bit and get to work. I didn't frig around with any of their like speeds and feeds at all. I just trusted that whatever they have in there is good. So let's hope for the best. All right, don't explode. It didn't, yay. Wait, this says it has 9 hours to go. All right, try number 2 with way more aggressive settings. There we go. This is going pretty well, and I know it's our very first time using this, but I'm feeling greedy and I have control over the speeds and feeds right here, so yeah, there we go, 15,000 RPM, feed, 130. How does it sound? It sounds pretty happy. Just overclock your CNC immediately. It's what you need to do. As far as I can tell, that was a resounding success. The included dust vac didn't really dust vac very much, but that's easy enough to overcome. Not too bad. Some of it didn't turn out the greatest, but I think that's my fault for just being too aggressive with the engraving. Andy, should we try this in aluminum?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. Their software is incredibly easy to use, and one thing that I absolutely love is this margin right here. And so it has a laser that goes around where it's going to cut, so you can make sure that you're not going to nick your clamps or anything like that. Verifying that in the past has always been pretty difficult, and this is the easiest that I have ever seen it. Now, when you're cutting aluminum, making sure that you're not recutting chips is incredibly important, and they do have a provision for that. So they have a little air nozzle right here. You point that at the tip, blows your chips away. Everything's great. I forgot to buy the adapter to connect our air compressor to this. So what I'm going to do is just open it up when it needs some chip clearing. I'm just gonna blow on it, and to make sure that it stays nice and cool, I'm gonna spray WD-40 on it as needed. Whoa. What did it just do? Oh, it 100% exploded the bit.
Yeah, got that on camera.
RIP, my dude. It did at least realize that it had exploded something and stopped, so that's good, I guess, but please manually switch on and off the machine. I can do that. I think our part's fine. It cut beautifully, but it's a little bit disconcerting to know that the tabs can just randomly completely screw it up. No, my theory is completely wrong. It just wasn't supposed to do that. Like, I'm looking here. It came out right above like the bottom of the Z, and just went straight up into the piece and exploded. And there's nothing in here that says that it will do that. Okay, that one's not on me at all. Like looking over the G code, while it was cutting this, I was like, this is the easiest machine ever, and it seems like it's awesome. And now I'm kind of scared. It didn't let me drop the tool, which makes sense because there's not really much tool left in there. And that's all that's left. I have seen a lot of end mills explode in my day, and normally they just like snap. This one, I'm just picking out pieces. You can see a bunch of them right here. It's shattered. This is probably also the first time that I've ever blown up an end mill and it's not been my fault. Other than ones that like I used for 2 years and they just got too old. Well, I guess now is as good of a time as any to show you how the bit installer works. So first we need to uninstall it. So you take this little guy right here, chuck it in the center, then you put your bit in the top. So we've got that into there, and then we screw the whole thing together, and with any luck, it pops it out the front. I was going to show you how to install it, but this one already came with a thing on it. Although it's pretty easy, same sort of thing. You just chuck into this tool, close it up, and then it pushes it to the right height. I do really have to compliment Makera. They include everything that you need to get going, including a cute little handsaw for cutting off your tabs. No, the included saw didn't even ponder cutting through aluminum. What I'll do in the future is I'll just buy some really thin, really strong carpet tape, and then not even worry about tabs at all. You just cut straight through it and the double-sided tape just hold it down and you're good to go. But for now, I need to drill all these tabs out. You know, that looks pretty darn good, and besides a couple of like little nicks from when it tried to self-immolate, it cuts aluminum pretty freaking great.
Yeah, we can make some custom badges.
I'd want to make a better one to go on my RAV4. But it does show that it cuts aluminum absolutely no issue, just with stock settings. One thing I'm a little bit interested about, I don't know what this spoil board here is, and I'm assuming it's okay to get WD-40 on it and not swell up and get terrible, but it does look like it's absorbing it. So hopefully that's fine. It auto Z levels, so whatever, it'll just make up for it. One other thing that we got with this that's super cool is a 4th axis. So this right here allows you to cut stuff into sort of, oh my God, it's so cute and tiny, wow. So this allows for you to chuck up some bar stock or some round stock and then sort of CNC that out. So if we want to make completely custom shift knobs, we absolutely can with this, yeah. Do you want more aluminum shift knobs, Andy?
I definitely want more knobs.
You can have more knobs. We can do it. We have the technology. Now we could play around with it more, but I actually want to see what's on the inside. When I was uploading files to it, it kind of sounded like there's a hard drive in it, but like it must be flash storage. I need to see. Wow, there's just nothing. Is this the computer? Where the heck is everything? Yeah, it seems like this is our motor controller, and this is our controller. Okay, in here we can see that there's an SD card. So this thing does have servo motors, which is really cool. So a lot of CNC machines, especially cheaper ones like this, will have stepper motors, and those count how many steps they've turned. But if for whatever reason it misses a step or goes too far, it has no idea. The servo motors in this have an encoder on them, so it knows not just how far it thinks it's gone, but also how far it actually has gone and can correct for any problems that might happen in the middle there. So the Makera Carvera, I have to say, I am really impressed with this thing, especially its ease of use. Like, I saw some reviews where people were talking about how steep the learning curve is on this. Holy frig, it's easy. If you've ever used Mach 3 before, like, that's a steep learning curve. As for the pricing, this guy right here is $5,500. Now, for a CNC mill, that is incredibly cheap. For you to buy that, it's pretty expensive. Now, they do have the Carvera Air, which is pretty similar. It doesn't have the tool changer, but it is also half the money. So if you want to get into CNC milling, then that's the one that I would want if you are on a budget. And as far as feature completeness goes, man, even compared to much more expensive mills, this is way better in that regard. Do I recommend it though? Well, I think that really depends on your use case. If you're looking to get into CNC milling as a hobby, this seems like an excellent machine to do so. It's super easy to use, and it is incredibly competent at cutting everything from plastics to aluminum and steel if you're really nice to it. If you're looking at it to buy as a machine to make you money though, that gives me a little bit more pause. If you want to do plastics like Delrin or ABS or engraving wood, then I think that this would be awesome. If you want to be cutting aluminum, then maybe look at spending $10,000 and getting something that'll actually be able to make you money cutting aluminum instead of this, which is pretty slow at it. Overall though, I'm friggin' stoked to have this thing. We're going to be able to make so many cool things on it, and I cannot wait to do that. Just like I can't wait to thank you for getting to the end of this video. Huge thanks for watching, hit like, get subscribed, and of course, have a great old day.